Today I want to talk about the concept of sustainability as it relates to environmental law and public policy. First of all, the main purpose of the U.S. House of Representatives is to create public policy, be they laws or regulations. When environmental scientists approach the U.S. House of Representatives members to try to lobby for a specific environmental law, the result of that is often merely considered to be bearable, in that where the two overlap, the area where they have common interest is often not considered to be the optimal solution because the House members are not scientists necessarily and don't necessarily understand the fineries of environmental science. So the translation from scientist to public policymaker is at best bearable. Now let's look at what happens when you have public policy that is made with economists. The result of that is that that policy tends to be equitable. In other words, economists believe that the economy should be open to everyone and that the same goods and services should be available to all people for a similar price or effort on their behalf to obtain it. So that becomes an equitable issue. Now, when we overlap environmental with economic, in other words, environmental scientists are talking with economists, the outcome of that is viable. And I say that because economists listen to what the environmental scientists have to say about the issues and the environmental impact, and then they go about attempting to put a metric to it to measure in real terms what that impact really is worth. But when you add all three of these overlapping circles together, you come up with a policy that is truly sustainable. So in this case, we're looking at environmental law that has a metric put against it that says, okay, you public policymakers, this particular metric will allow you to determine the best solution for mitigating the environmental damage that may be caused by this scenario. And so I'll give you the example of the work that I've done in Africa, in Latin America, and in North America with clean air. We started off for many years trying to promote the issue of clean air programs based on the concept of climate change. But every time we attempted to do that, the public had an outroar because not everybody agrees with the concept that climate change is man-made. I would say that most people believe climate change is real, but many of them believe that it is a natural force of nature as opposed to man-made. So the solution that we came up with was to put an economic metric to the environmental issue, and it actually turned out to be a public health issue rather than a straight environmental issue because we were able to ascertain how many thousands of people in a single city die every year because of the emission of vehicles. So in this case, by using all three sciences, public policy, environmental, and economic, we are able to come up with a reasonable solution that says the best way to mitigate the problem that is degrading the environment in terms of the air is to come up with a public policy that will attack that specific issue, i.e., a program that will regulate the types of emissions that automobiles emit. So, only when these three circles overlap do you get true sustainability.